And I described all of, the issues that was going on with me at the moment, and my frustrations at the fact that, I wasn't getting any answers, and, how lost I felt, and, alone. And it's really frustrating when, that there's a lot of things going on in your body, and you feel some type of way, and, no one's giving you any answers, and everybody's looking at you like it's all in your head. And it got to a point where I was even starting to question whether everything was in my head. It's a very lonely feeling, and invalidating. But I'm glad to say that, I finally have a diagnosis. I found a doctor. It was an integrative doctor. He was able to, he did a huge blood workup, TMI, but stool test, extensive workup, and he was able to find out that, potentially I may have Lyme disease. It's not 100%, but that came up positive. But the biggest thing that they found was that I have Epstein-Barr virus reactivated. I know that I had mono when I was like 6 or 7 years old. I think it was like 5 or 6 years old. And I know that it had gotten pretty bad. And I have an identical twin, and she got really bad to the point that she actually, had hepatitis and everything. And it looks like that virus basically reactivated in me. I don't know what the lingo is for that, but yeah, that would make a lot of sense. It's just frustrating because I have spent so much time and energy and money into this medical system to figure out what's going on with me. And between, gastrologists, primary cares, gynecologists, hospitals, all types of, blood work, diagnostics, like just grueling tests, like even biopsies where I have like a permanent scar on my leg, like a huge permanent scar. And it's just so frustrating because everybody literally was, a rheumatologist. I think the rheumatologist was the only one that was like, this girl has something going on with her. We just don't know what it is, but she got something going on. But, still I had no answers whatsoever. Everybody was just kind of like looking at the symptom like, oh, it's allergies. Oh, it's just this. Oh, it's, gastritis. Oh, you're young and this and that. And like, literally like just, they wouldn't listen. They wouldn't put the things together. Like, she's getting a rash. She has sore throats. Her stomach's, having major issues. She's having liver pains. Massive weight loss, in a short period of time. Just so many different symptoms going on. And like, it's just one ear and out the other. No one even cared to put it all together. Like, maybe it's a virus. It could have been figured out with one doctor, my primary care. And yeah, I just by doing like my own research and in numerous outlets, I ran into the possibility. I kind of had an idea that it might be Epstein-Barr virus, just because I knew that I had it before, and I know the similar side effects that other people are having, and sure enough, that's exactly what came up. But so what it looks like is I had like last time I spoke, I was having all those symptoms, but I was finally getting better. I had gained my weight back, and I wasn't having the pains as much anymore, and there's like a couple months of that, and then in the last like month, I've started going downhill again. So, I came up that my liver enzymes were high. It started with that, my liver enzymes being high, just massive fatigue. I got a sore throat that was lasting for like a month and a half, and then it went away, and then it came back again. I was, getting fevers, bloating, diarrhea. I've lost 6 pounds in a week. Just a bunch of stuff. So it's all coming back again. Today in particular, I'm incredibly fatigued. Like incredibly. Like I don't know how I'm getting through the day. I just have to push myself. Like, just do it, Alex. You'll figure it out. It's you gotta keep going. It's the world we live in. I wish I had more support. I don't really have a lot of support at home. My husband's kind of has me written off as a hypochondriac or something like that. Like, he's just like, oh, whatever, it's all in your head. But now he's actually seeing test results, and, he's like, oh, whoa, you definitely have something going on, whatever, so he's a little bit more understanding and supportive now, finally. At least I have that to back me up. But I still feel like I'm on my own. But I'm going to look at this in a positive way, and I know that there's a lot of people out there going through the same thing, and I have a few different options in my head of things that I could pursue to see if it helps. So I guess I will keep you posted and let you know how it goes. There's a few things I'm going to be trying out. So like a couple things like liposomal vitamin C, which I'll get into later, the benefits with that. If that doesn't work, I'm gonna look into vitamin C chelation, certain herb supplementations, massive diet change, which I think is like the biggest, hardest thing, to do, but it is the most important thing that I'm gonna have to start working on. Detoxing. So infrared therapy, hot and cold therapy, rebounding, which is really good for the lymphatic system, to drain out toxins and stuff like that, since I have obviously some going on with my liver and buildup and stuff like that. So I'm just going to do things to support my immune system. The last result, the doctor actually told me, it's a pretty invasive procedure and insanely expensive. It's like a last result for me, and I haven't really read up anything about it or been able to find anything on this, but supposedly, there's the option of doing like an IV, but that starts in my shoulder, that goes through an artery, and it goes into my chest, of colloidal silver. I'm not too sure about that. I mean, aside from the fact that the procedure is insanely expensive, I haven't been able to find any research on that, and from what I know, there are some negative side effects with colloidal silver, even though there's a lot of also really good benefits. But for me, that's like a last alternative, if it's an absolute must. So in the meanwhile, I'm just going to try different options and see what works, and I'm going to have you guys follow me through the process, just because I know there's a lot of other people going through it, and if there's anything that works for me in detail or any type of protocol that I'm doing, I want to keep you guys posted, see if maybe that would help you as well. I think it's really important that all of us that are suffering silently and not really getting the support we need to just stick together as a team and figure out what works. I'm there with you. Whatever you're suffering with silently, you're not alone. Trust me, I understand your frustration. I'm a mother of a 3-year-old. I have a very messy husband, so and somehow I have to maintain the house. I have to be there for my daughter. I work full time. I'm a student, so it's not easy. It really isn't. And but I don't want to be a victim to this, and I really believe that I can figure this out on my own. I truly, wholeheartedly believe that I can do this on my own, and that my body is strong, and that, if I'm strong up here and in here, and I remain positive that I can figure this out, and, I'm with you every step of the way. And if you guys have any tips that, could potentially help me or others, please put that in the comments, and, we could do this, guys. So thanks for listening.